The Odyssey Paranormal Society is a Minnesota-based group of ghost hunters who become close after a number of bizarre and scary shared experiences like this one in May of 2015. While conducting a paranormal investigation at a haunted house, a ghost hunter named Sean makes a request for any spirit to make their presence known.
Wherever you can do, wherever you can manifest your energy with. Jesus.
Two orbs float overhead, followed by a loud noise that makes Sean jump. The next month, they get more paranormal evidence that the house is haunted. This time in the basement, when a hideous ghost face appears on a night vision camera in the window at 2 a.m. There's also some kind of light anomaly at the very beginning of this video that could be an apparition. Light shouldn't be reflecting off of anything in a dark basement, so this is bizarre. And 5 years later, the Odyssey Paranormal Society continues to make ghost hunting videos that are beyond creepy. They are exploring the second floor of an abandoned home when they stop for a moment to try and communicate with the other side.
Could you make a noise? Like that was okay.
It doesn't sound like an animal, and it doesn't sound like passing traffic. This is the voice of a ghostly woman screaming her answer to their question from far away. The Southern Arizona Ghost and Paranormal Society teams up with fellow ghost hunters, the Mission Creeps, to investigate the ever-so-haunted Oliver House in Bisbee, Arizona. 26 people are said to have lost their lives here over the years, the most famous being a man named Nat Anderson, whose wife disposed of him with 2 rounds after learning of an affair. Now gathered in the historic bedroom of the Oliver House, they call upon Nat Anderson and possibly get a response.
Somebody told us that Nat Anderson was here. Is Nat still here?
This is one of the clearest paranormal voices I've ever heard. It sounds distinct yet in the same room as them. I'm wondering if this was edited in, and I'm especially looking for the opinion of any sound technicians. Here it is one more time. Maybe it's just me, but I'm detecting a hint of sarcasm in the voice, so maybe it was Nat Anderson being funny by saying he wasn't there, or maybe it was a different ghost who is tired of this question altogether. These ghost hunters become the hunted in this haunted ghost encounter. Published by Wo Cuyahoga Official in September of 2021, Assad and crew hunt for ghosts in this paranormal show, and they don't come up empty-handed. They start to hear noises in this haunted place, and then see a dark figure lurking just out of sight. As they continue in their search, a pile of bricks is pushed from one of the walls.
Oh, Lord.
Something is later rattling the doorway. And as they get closer, they hear a growl from behind them. After hearing something behind them again, one of the crew gets taken. When they race into the room, no one is there, but they see something flicker past while peering through a hole in the wall of the room. They later come across more substantial evidence that something has been stalking them all along. A figure is standing in one of the structure's many rooms. They back out and the figure is gone, but another appears, this one in a pink robe. They pursue her and later find another figure. Standing in the opposite direction, only this time the figure doesn't remain still. She moves backwards towards them in a terrifying manner. Would you survive this unholy terror? Or would it be enough to scare you real good? I'd be getting out of that place as quickly as possible. This creepy video is what happens when you go ghost hunting. around Ireland's haunted woods of Newton Abbey.
Helly, did you hear the word ambush?
I don't hear anything, but I do see a strange mist has been caught on camera. Paranormal, I'd say, because it doesn't look like their breath. It happens twice, here at 26 seconds and again at 28 seconds. I hear they have a lot of foggy weather in Ireland, so maybe this is a small patch of fog they've caught on camera instead of a ghost. But let's face it, they get creeped out in a scary part of the woods known to be haunted, stop to record, and then capture some strange sightings on tape, so maybe this is a paranormal ghost video. Franco TV is one of the few ghost hunters I've come across who isn't afraid to investigate solo. In fact, he prefers it. Charging into the middle of the action and staying put is his style. Rarely does he run. On September 7th, 2018, Franco TV goes to an abandoned house that's way out in the Florida forest. I can't tell you the exact location, but I can tell you the name, the Edison House. What's inside leaves him a sweat-soaked mess. The address is so secret that he had to track down some of the previous owners to find it, and since no one can stand living here for more than a few months, there were plenty of previous owners to choose from. It was accidentally built over a gravesite according to them, and that's all they will say because it's so cursed that just talking about it could possibly bring about years of misfortune. None of this concerns Franco enough to keep him from going inside. Through the condemned door is a trashed interior that fills the investigator with the type of dread that burns stronger with every step. Everything about it feels off and wrong in a way he can't explain.
So weird.
Past a crumbling kitchen is a small kid's room that feels colder than the rest of the house. And as he's reading but not adhering to the simple instructions on the wall,
Get out.
he hears the giggle of a child. The laughter comes from behind him, practically in his ear, and he turns against a wall with a mysterious red stain that looks like it's squirted out of someone's neck. Across from him, this witch-like face appears against the window. It's most visible at approximately 3 minutes and 12 seconds, eyes and all. Undeterred, he goes to where it was standing and looks inside the room he was just in. As he's doing this, the same face now regards him through a crack in the doorway at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. It doesn't look like it's part of the door, but I guess it could be. The upstairs is cramped and uncomfortably hot. Down the hall is a red handprint that could belong to a child, except it's too high up on the wall. Perhaps they were struggling with someone trying not to be carried into this room. As Franco stares into the room, dozens of comments point out this figure staring back out at him from within the closet, just like the far wall says. I couldn't really see anything at first, but when I did, I suddenly wished I didn't try so hard. Something's there. Franco doesn't spend much time in this room because he gets an especially bad feeling, but one thing I noticed was this jet black spirit orb float up towards him and disappear. That's not a bug. The anxiety he gets from the second floor is a little too much, even for him, and look what happens when he goes back downstairs.
I'm hearing all sorts of noises everywhere, and I don't have no cover at all, and I'm in the middle of the forest. So, that's kind of like one of the reasons why it's going to be a little bit weird for me. Because I can't deal with that.
This just so happens to be one of the only times he films behind him, so maybe this part is set up. Anyway, this was back when a supernatural challenge called Charlie Charlie was popular, and so he decides to play around before calling it quits. He sets up 2 pencils and waits for the ghost to respond.
Is there anyone in this house right now? Is there anyone that's
I don't know about you, but I see no string.
Do you wish me to leave this area?
A closer look under the light at 9 minutes and 17 seconds shows that nothing is tied around the pencil at all. He He follows its advice and goes outside. By now, Franco is soaked in sweat and still hearing movements that I don't think he's making up because they sound too far away, deeper in the forest.
And from there, I'm gonna head home. After that, I'm done. I gotta get out of here.
Part of him wants to leave, but he knows he has to explore the surrounding property because it's where more spirits roam around their unmarked graves. While staring out into the wilderness, he hears them.
What the is that?
It's not traffic because there's no roads out here, and exactly 2 seconds later it's accompanied by a voice warning him never to return.
Holy.
Advice that Franco TV decides to take as he walks away from the Edison House with the blank, horrified stare of a man who has been shown far too much. These ghost hunters in Texas capture a rare paranormal sighting on their night vision camera. I'm willing to bet you didn't see this on the first try, so I'll tell you where to look. Check out the grassy section and you'll see a small black ball cross the road. They don't see anything else for a while, and then the strange black dot comes back only to disappear again. I was thinking it could be some kind of wildlife until it literally vanishes from sight, which obviously no living creature should be able to do.
Are you aiming down that way? Mm-hmm. So we went across the room. You see that little light thing, that reflector on the left?
Linfamous TV goes ghost hunting in the woods of Long Island, and they say this place is truly haunted. They are expecting the ghost sighting of a lifetime, and what they've caught on camera does not let them down.
Yeah.
Oh, what the f was that?
They aren't sure what they heard, and so they press forward despite feeling scared early on. The deeper they go, the more haunted things start to look and feel.
Over here, it looks like it's something from a horror movie.
Right. These woods right here are really spooky.
Something is wrong with this part of the woods. They can feel it, but being ghost hunters means doing creepy stuff all the time, and so they go down this path against better judgment.
Got a cold spot.
These are fire. Completely blocking out the sky.
I thought it was her friend, but it's not. At 5 minutes and 58 seconds, Lynn's friend is to the right. He is still to the right at 6 minutes when Lynn looks left and then up at the trees. When she brings the camera down, a ghost is there. There is a ghost on the left. Her friend, meanwhile, is still standing to her opposite side as they try to consult her GPS system and get weird interference.
Wearing a...
Well, on the map, what does it take us to? Does it look like it ends?
I'm sure. Like in Huntington or something. Like, I can't see. Or...
Their GPS loudly messes up and takes them in a wide loop for almost 3 hours before it straightens out. Weird how their equipment does this the same minute they have this paranormal encounter. Oh, and one last thing. Lynn's friend is wearing a baseball hat. This ghost looking straight at them does not. Therefore, I have a strange feeling that this ghost sighting video could be real. This ghost hunter should really be looking behind him. Published by Find Ghost in December of 2021, a man stands in the wilderness holding something and addressing what's in front of him. He is oblivious to what's behind him. A djinn appears, transparent at first, but then more solid looking. The djinn stays only for a moment before gradually vanishing again. The moral of the story? Sometimes what you're looking for is right over your shoulder. A team of ghost hunters are using a modified Kinect camera to capture paranormal presence in the historic Houghton Mansion in North Adams, Massachusetts. It was once owned by a wealthy businessman, but has since been converted to a Masonic temple and is believed to be haunted by otherworldly spirits. The person in green is one of the hunters, but listen to what they hear.
What was that?
Yeah, what was that?
I was walking.
No, that was a voice.
The voice.
Yeah, that was a girl's voice.
Girl's voice.
Absolutely a girl's voice.
I didn't even hear it.
You can really hear the voice when you put headphones on. Anyway, I think this video is real because in fake videos, they tend to talk one at a time and not all at once. But in this video, everybody convincingly talks over each other and reacts with genuine surprise. I'd like to hear what you think though. Maddie and Elijah are ghost hunting with a guide named Eric in an old asylum that has over 80 rooms of horror to investigate. Let's talk about this door. They think somebody scratched at it for hours, and I think that's what it looks like, but I seriously hope it's termites. To support their theory, these scratches at 10 minutes and 55 seconds do look like someone took their nails to the wall, as well in a fit of madness. Later, they hear this distant moan. I definitely think this sounds like a person, but let me know if you can think of some other explanation.
So that's it.
What the did you hear that?
No?
So that's creepy, but what I want to talk about more than anything is what happens after Elijah makes the mistake of holding a haunted bridal doll. This crazy noise is the spirit's response to being asked what her name is. It sounds wicked and definitely like nothing I'd want to be in the same room as. Even Eric admits he has never heard such a harsh EVP come from that doll before in all his experience as a tour guide, and he also says nobody has ever touched her before, so I think it's real. And as further proof, look what happens when the doll is asked if she's upset about being touched.
Are you mad that Elijah came in and touched the bride?
Judging by this paranormal ripple effect of negative energy caught on camera, I'd say yes, she was. Redditor Purgatory Adventure submitted this to the Chills Narrator subreddit, and they said it's one of the scariest events in Purgatory Adventure's history. The Redditor described the events as the following. We captured footsteps coming down the stairs at us. The ghost hunting team appears to be in an abandoned building of some sort. One team member sits in the middle of a mostly empty room, but keep your eye on the door in the top right. And just like that, clear as day, they hear footsteps coming from the other side of that door, like someone is walking down some stairs.
What the f? That was like in the staircase, man.
Something tells me they're not alone in this place, but the question now is whether it's a ghost or a stranger. Which one do you think it is? Either way, I'd be staying far away from this place.
What the f? That was like in the staircase, man.
While visiting Mima Land, YouTuber Fokker Donkey captured a paranormal sighting while out on a ghost hunt. As the guys drive forward, something uncanny drifts past. Did you see it? A pale figure appears on the left. The crew believes this is a Pakong, a Javanese ghost said to be the soul of a passed away person trapped in their shroud. I'm not totally sold on this one, simply because I think it could be a statue in the darkness, appearing to drift as they drive past. Then again, it almost looks like it moves upward rather than just sideways. What do you think? Sometimes ghost hunters become the hunted. Published by Yoon Sai-won in April of 2021. That's what happened to this Korean ghost hunter on one of his most recent investigations. Upon entering the haunted locale, he hears a strange noise.
안녕하세요.
It could be a dog barking in the distance, but who knows? Whatever it is, he has a bad feeling. And that feeling grows when the EMF meter reacts strongly, despite there being no electricity in the place. Using facial recognition software, faces also start to appear around the abandoned place. And they're getting closer by the second. Later, as the ghost hunter is using a spirit box, he hears a loud bump in the night. And then again as he continues his search. Is Yoon Saiwan being stalked? It may be best to call off this ghost hunt. While inside this haunted house, these ghost hunters are lured into the forest. Published by Lomar Mendez in October of 2021, the pair consider whether or not something is in the house with them, and as they explore the house, they hear something.
That was probably creaking.
Their camera's light appears to be malfunctioning, and soon they become positive that someone else is here. As they wait in fear, they hear a strange noise from the next room, and then they see the figure. They take this as their cue to leave. While they do escape the house without incident, they're being followed, but the big reveal is yet to come. Well, this is a pretty messed up thing for a dad to do. These two should look on the bright side. This could have ended so much worse. Some rather unexplained paranormal activity was caught on video when a ghost hunter by the name of Tracy puts their camera on the floor of a haunted house, one of the many haunted places in an unnamed ghost town they're exploring all alone. Soon strange noises are heard as a shadow figure slowly plays against the wall. This might be an actual shadow figure, or someone walking across the window to create the appearance of one. The noises make sound like they could be special effects played from a speaker.
Supposedly, a little girl saw two ghosts. Looks like a creepy little house. They say it's really haunted.
A team of ghost hunters investigate recent paranormal activity at the Craig house where a ghost sighting has left a little girl really creeped out. Her mother suspects the house is haunted.
So what do you think it is? Do you think it's...
Probably ghost.
The Craig family was not surprised when their daughter had a ghost sighting, because they've all experienced paranormal activity too. Weird things like the dial on their radio moving on its own, unexplainable noises in the basement, and scary voices whispering hello. But this time the paranormal activity has gone too far by scaring their innocent daughter, and so the ghost hunters are called to investigate. They set up paranormal equipment in the haunted basement to see what kind of supernatural evidence they can capture on video. When nothing is caught on tape, the ghost hunters begin to doubt anything paranormal is down here, and so they challenge the ghost to reveal itself on camera.
Make something move off these shelves. You little...
No objects fall off the shelf, but apparently 3 minutes later a mysterious EVP is caught on camera when the ghost hunters are exploring the entrance to a room under the stairs. Keep in mind that paranormal equipment has been dormant for 25 minutes until they come across this hidden room, which appears to be empty, and when they open it, all of their equipment mysteriously turns off and needs to be restarted. So I think they've let out something paranormal. As ghost hunters, it is their job to replicate the results, so as to provide the best paranormal evidence possible, which in this case means standing outside of the small space and taunting the ghost some more.
Bring it to me. I'm going inside.
This little room. Demonic. Heaven or bring it to me. Let's see it. They said. Jordan.
A strong and steady EVP does not stop until they take the batteries out, which I think were probably being drained fast. Judging from the weird sounds it makes, the ghost hunting equipment is being pushed past its limits and struggles to keep up with the paranormal energy surrounding it. Later, their EVP session takes them inside the closet of the girl's basement playroom, where she had a ghost sighting. He calls the ghost a coward for not properly showing itself, and...
Coward. Is what you are.
If you look behind him, an object seemingly moves on its own, or maybe he hooks it with his finger. It's kind of hard to say.
Did you not see it move by itself?
Yeah, but it's gotta be better than that. I gotta see it move by
You
itself.
still don't believe?
Not really.
Either way, this is probably one of the few videos I've ever seen where the ghost hunters argue about whether this scary moment is paranormal or fake, so let's help them figure it out. I think it was probably real because earlier, he did at some point ask the ghost to move an object to prove it was real. Here's the spirit hiding, posted to the ghosts subreddit by Leonardo DeFuzzy. This ghost hunter is about to find out. After hearing noise in an adjacent room of this abandoned home, the ghost hunter ventures inside, and then this happens. Something is behind this locked door trying to get out.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. هذا كيف؟
The ghost hunter moves forward and pulls the door open, but there's nothing inside. He steps further in, and despite the fact that there's no one there, even more poltergeist activity happens. Scaring him out of the room. He returns only for the same thing to happen again. As many in the comments note, this video is from YouTuber Adventure Allah, and most agree that it's one of the most realistic hauntings they've seen. Is it real, or just all camera angles? Redditor Nav in Person has another theory. They wrote, it's just the house settling. I think we can all agree that the other explanation is a tad more exciting. A ghost hunting channel called Hunting the Haunted investigates an old abandoned farmhouse and gets plenty of paranormal activity caught on tape. In the kitchen, they see a possible ghost orb appear while Jay is asking questions.
What's your name?
Weird.
As soon as I turned around, he was right behind me.
This could be a gnat, except it shows up when Jay wants to know the spirit's name, and while Jay talks about something appearing behind him, the light anomaly appears behind him and goes away. Another ghost orb floats up upon the mention of this word.
Did I say?
Yes.
This is definitely a creepy place at night.
They go investigating the surrounding property.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry. Sorry.
I swear there was a woman.
At 31 minutes and 42 seconds, and again at 34 minutes and 20 seconds, they hear a woman's laughter.
I'm telling you, I heard something. I heard a woman or something.
Said say it out of him, and then I heard like a high pitch.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was going to say something.
Yeah.
A mysterious figure is illuminated despite being beyond the reach of their light. There's really nothing else it could be because nothing is out there, at least nothing that should be reflecting light.
You know what else I don't hear?
What?
I don't hear that owl no more.
Right.
That's it. Peace out.
And when they turn to leave, this unexplained light suddenly blinks out. As soon as it does, the same ghost orb from the kitchen returns for one last look. Somehow they miss all these brief ghost sightings at the time, but it's caught on camera for them to later discover. This happens a few minutes after they hear the woman laugh, so they suspect this encounter is paranormal, and I'd have to agree. What happens when you're on an extreme ghost hunt that goes horribly wrong? Published to YouTube in July of 2020, Simply Sereth can answer that question. He suggests using earphones to get the full effect of what happened to him and his crew when they got trapped in by unseen forces while exploring this bungalow. In the video, they wander through the dark abandoned house. It's raining outside, which adds to the creepy ambiance inside the home with its empty windows and doors. Nearly straight away, they keep hearing noises that makes them jump and search around for the source. The home is nightmarish, with bats or birds swooping down from the ceiling every so often. At one point at 14 minutes 30 seconds, they hear footsteps above. At another point, there's a loud bang at the end of the hallway they're hovering in. While talking through the spirit box, they feel like something is at the end of the hallway again. They run for a moment, but then stall to talk again to the spirit box. They must have felt trapped like rats as they kept hearing noises on opposite ends of the hallway. But thankfully, they eventually escaped with their lives. But did something else come with them? This person's spirit didn't stay in the ground. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in January of 2022, this ghost hunter was walking along a road near an old graveyard at night when he spotted this. The ghostly figure could, of course, be a statue. It does seem to be standing abnormally still at first, then it clearly starts to move. Its long robe flows behind it as it strides forward. The cameraman comes closer and finds it kneeling before a grave, praying. When it turns to look at him, he shoots off like a light, running as fast as he can before his lights are out forever. Definitely the right call.